With Black Ops 6 Zombies right around the corner, Treyarch has one last chance to revive the fan favorite mode. Here are some features and changes that need to be present in Black Ops 6 in order for it to be a fan favorite once again. Now, we do know Gobblegums are making a return in Black Ops 6. However, we need the return of the overpowered Gobblegums that came later in Black Ops 3, such as Perkaholic and some of the other fan favorite Gobblegums. The introduction of overpowered Gobblegums, as well as just a variety of Gobblegums, introduces the ability to replay the game and to play the game in different ways. This way, a new Zombies player as well as a veteran Zombies player can play the game however they want, whenever they want. Now, this next feature, it's almost a guarantee. However, it got changed once, so it has to be mentioned. Classic perks need to return, such as Juggernog, Speed Cola, Stamina Up. These have always been fan favorite perks and introduces familiarity within the mode. I believe we'll have an unlimited perk cap like we did in Cold War and Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, which I think also helps our replayability and uniqueness of gameplay. In the Black Ops 6 Zombies reveal, there was a clip that showed Salvage dropping from a zombie. In the clip, you could see blue as well as green Salvage falling from a zombie. This guarantees the return of Salvage in Black Ops 6. Salvage is one of those features that was either loved by fans or hated by fans. The feature made the game easier for players, however, you depended on Salvage in Cold War for things like upgraded armor as well as upgrading your weapon. The problem with Salvage in Cold War was it took a long time to get enough salvage to upgrade your weapon rarity or get more armor. I think with the return of salvage, the amount of salvage dropped needs to increase or the cost of items need to go down. This way, salvage becomes a more useful feature than a hindrance in the game. Now, this next feature, purists of the Zombies mode will disagree. There has been an open world Zombies mode since Cold War and now in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. These open world modes have created their own beloved fan base. So in Black Ops 6, we need to see the return of one open world Zombies map. This way, the new fans that came over from Modern Warfare 3 Zombies or Cold War Zombies still feel a sense of familiarity. With the return of Gobblegums, perks, and salvage, Black Ops 6 needs to have more challenging maps. Many critiques of Cold War were that the maps were too easy, other than Forsaken or Marauder Toten. With more features in Black Ops 6 Zombies than ever, the maps need to be harder. My biggest complaint about Cold War Zombies was the map or the announcer always holding my hand through tasks, telling me where to go, telling me what to do.
Requiem Strike Team. The traitor Valentina is somewhere in Berlin. You must stop her, or your pilot friend will face my blade. So, let us recap. Valentina has an army in the Dark Ether, placed there by the Reich, and her scientist father. Nazis and their occult schemes. Tale as old as time. She has lost her mind. We need to clean up this mess before the KGB has us all executed. Or worse, Valentina must not be allowed to complete her plan. Restore power to the district. I hope you are smart enough to avoid being hit by a train. A strange robot chained to a chair. Well, no alarm bells there, yeah? We should turn him back on. Project N Station had a lab here in Berlin. That is where you will find Valentina.
The classic way of Zombies allowed for a new player to jump in, curious what to do, feeling like the map was out to get you. Or in the recent games, the map or the announcer has been helping you the entire time. If we can bring back harder, challenging map, I think the replayability will be great. Now, with this said, we do need a easy map, a beginner-friendly map. Liberty Falls is one of the two maps that is coming out on the release date, and I think having this easier map off the start will allow for new players to jump in day one and enjoy what Zombies is without feeling like the map is out to get them. With the topic of a challenging map, we need more unique features and experiences in our maps. A lot of the maps in Cold War were some sort of facility map, which made a lot of the maps feel very similar. It also didn't help that a lot of our bosses in the maps were very similar. I mean, the Panzer returned a lot, the Mimic returned a lot, the Disciple returned a lot. These were bosses that were in multiple of the maps. And that was something we had never seen before Cold War. All of the map bosses were independent to the map, other than the Mangler and the Panzer. Those bosses were in a couple of the maps, but they all fit to the story. I think if our maps are unique and they're not just facility maps, as well as our bosses are unique, like the Pentagon Thief in 5 on Black Ops 1. I think this could help make the map feel independent of itself and not just the same map over and over again. A buildable system also needs to return in Black Ops 6. Now, the last time we saw a buildable system was Black Ops 4. In Black Ops Cold War, there was a few buildable features, like you could build the Ray K in Firebase Z, but in the older Zombies modes, every map had a buildable or two. A lot of the times it was the Wonder Weapon and the Shield, or a part for the Easter egg. Now, the buildable feature got removed in Cold War with the introduction of Salvage and being able to buy stuff with Salvage, but the hunt for parts and figuring out how to build different items was a lot of what made the old Zombies modes fun, especially in the early days where players would go on hunts looking for all the places where the shield parts were located. With this said, we also need to include satisfying wonder weapons in this mode. Now, Treyarch has always been known to have very good wonder weapons, and I don't see this being any different in Black Ops 6, but the wonder weapon needs to be something that's satisfying, something that players fight to get. However, the wonder weapon should not be something that you have to get or else you can't progress into late rounds. Cold War did this pretty well with the introduction of weapon rarities, as well as introducing the triple pack-a-punch with ammo mods and allowing more variety with your weapons. I think if those features return, the wonder weapon still needs to be good, but maybe not as required. Now, this last bit is all storyline related. Now, the Black Ops 6 story follows directly after the Cold War story ended, and Cold War ended with a lot of open endings, and we didn't really know what was going to happen next. With this being said, overall, we need to dive deeper into the Dark Ether story. There's a lot of things we don't know, and even some of the things our characters don't know, such as we don't know Samantha's past. We know she walked from the Ether story into the Dark Ether, but next time we saw her in the Dark Ether, she was an adult. Now, through intel and whatnot, Samantha tells the other characters that she doesn't know her childhood. She doesn't remember it. But there's other bits of intel that show that she kind of does know this childhood that she had, but she's blocking it out for some reason.
If you're here to ask me if I was the one who made all this happen, the answer is no. I didn't make the outbreak zones.
But it almost sounded like you had some control over the creatures at Outpost 25.
I may have helped open the door, but that doesn't mean I was in control.
How can you be sure if you don't really remember?
I'm no stranger to memory loss. My childhood is almost a complete blank. But that doesn't mean I don't know who I am and what I've done.
You really don't remember anything prior to the orphanage? Who looked after you? Before? After?
Be careful, Lizzie. You shouldn't expect anyone to look after you. Only you can do that.
I'm gonna go now, if that's okay.
Of course. This is the only way.
A lot of fans believe that this is actually her remembering her time in the Ether storyline and what happened at the end of Tagged or Toten in Black Ops 4. I think if we explore Samantha's childhood and see what exactly happened from where we saw her in Black Ops 4 to then in Cold War, I think that would help the player to understand exactly what's going on. Additionally, we need to learn more about Eddie and what his reasons were for tricking Requiem. We don't know much about Eddie either, as similar to Samantha, we saw him leaving the Ether and walking, holding hands with Samantha, and then we didn't see him until the end of Cold War in Mauer der Toten and Forsaken. We had heard a lot about Eddie being in the director role, but we don't know how he got in the director role, and then we don't know why at the end of Forsaken he kind of tricks Requiem and arrests them and all of the things that ended Cold War. Additionally, Samantha and Eddie were very close as kids. They were childhood best friends, and in Cold War, Eddie actually tortured Samantha to try to get information out of her.
Hello, Sam.
Leave me alone.
No. We've got work to do.
Oh, you're going to electrocute me again?
I really hope it doesn't come to that.
What do you want?
I want you to show me some of your powers. Weaver and Gray both saw you do it. Why should I miss out?
So I think if we dive into both Samantha and Eddie's past, we will learn more about kind of why they acted the way they did in Cold War. All right, that was everything that I think needs to be in Black Ops 6 in order for it to become a fan favorite once again. If you liked the video, push the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.